There we go. I think we can pause that. Everything should be working. All right. Seems like everything is working just fine. Hopefully, we don't have any weird hiccups like Sunday. So snarky, Aaronville. In the depths of the sky deep cenote. Okay. Just what do you think you are doing? Where did he get keystones from? 'Cause I know he had the 6 keystones, but he didn't get the last one. So he would have had to steal one from 2 decades ago. What he discovered was something the Dawn Servant feared enough to seal away forever, or so he thought, until the Right's objective became the City of Gold. Okay. What did he say? "2 decades ago, your father bade me transcribe a letter to a scholar across the salt petitioning the study of this place." Okay, so that would have been Galuf. 'Cause What he discovered was something the Dawn Servant feared enough to seal away forever, or so he thought, until the right's objective became the City of Gold. But to think that Tonqua would be entrusted with its safekeeping, had I known that doddering old fool carried a set of keys. Oh, okay. We might have spared ourselves those tiresome feats. Great power sleeps here, and with it you shall obtain your birthright. Yet the new Dawn servants succeeded where I could not. Taking their throne will be no easy task. Resilient son underestimates his own potential. There is no need for worry. Liberated the key from the Dawn servant's vault. You alone have the means to unlock the gate. Interesting. You will gain all you were denied. The right your father shade, these bitter memories shall soon be forgotten. Our plot thickens. If only I could. Alas, this gate will not open for me. Only the key in your possession can connect us. I do not claim this power is great, but the knowledge I possess is enough to realize any desire to remake worlds. Name your price then, for my desire is the world itself. In a risky game there. The useless tool is cast aside. Deliver me a new world, one that bends to my will. Okay, well, I think we all saw that coming a mile away. Aladdin Evil East was here. And present your travel pass. You won't have to wait long to enjoy sightseeing. The bridge to Dawntrail is a wonder in its own right. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and get moving.
Shall we then?
It is a very long bridge.
On the far side of that great bridge unfolded the wilds of Shaloni, where the sun guides in the Shitonatam. A harsh guide, to be sure, with its blazing rays scorching the land and hardening its inhabitants. But sweeping change had come to the arid expanse when, beneath its red crust, vast deposits of ceruleum were discovered. Embracing this opportunity, Vau Kona supporters hurtle on, driven by dreams of a future illuminated by blue flame. It is here that our journey continues, our path taking us along winding roads of steel. Each length of track a declaration of hope and ambition.
Okay, so Arizona Desert Garla Malt.
My home, Yasulani, lies past Shaloni. It will be a long journey, but the railroad should make it easier. As for the way to the train station, let's ride these fellows, shall we?
Unique have been acting strangely of late, more easily spooked and otherwise disagreeable, picking out a few fit for rent and rentings proving bothersome work. Usually so docile, but the ones I saw earlier didn't appear to be unhealthy either, but much has changed since last I was here. About that, sir, as well-traveled as you look, it's not only the Ronique that have been giving us trouble, other wildlife have shown signs of aggression too. Our merchant should be returning soon with one of our beasts. Stick around till they do, and I'll see you both on Ronique for a safer trip. Okay, let's be a little silly. If Wuklamat is not here to pester you, then I shall. Sitawi? I'll have a man bring the Ronique over there. Just mind yourself around the drunkards and troublemakers. By the way, if the mic picks up any banging noises, contractors are doing work on the apartment above me, and it is quite noisy. Fortunately, nothing I can do about it. Neat. Last time I was here, it was little more than a camp with a shop or three. How old are you, Aaronville?
Well, well.
Yeah.
It's become a proper town. Hey!
Now hold on a minute.
Some sort of trouble.
I'm talking to you, you old bastard.
Give me strength. For the last time, the investigation is closed. There's no refuting the evidence.
I don't give a shit about your evidence, you lying scum. You release my friends, or I'll make you wish you had.
Let me remind you who the scum is here. Your friends, who had the temerity to point their firearms at me, the deputy chief of the Dust Watch. And after taking them into custody, what should we discover but incontrovertible proof that they had committed larceny? They will not be released until they've paid for their crimes.
I'd heard the peacekeeping force had been formed to deal with growing lawlessness. Seems the situation is bad indeed.
Still can't get up a fuss, eh? Sounds like poor Zekua needs his bottle.
Yep.
Sure he wouldn't prefer his mama's teat? Treat me like a child, will you? My friends haven't done anything wrong, damn it! They've been framed!
Oh, stubborn little runt. Listen here, Zekua. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you'd best comport yourself like one. That means respecting the rule of law. Order may be precarious here in Shaloni, but it can be had if each man does the right thing. And for those that don't, well, they have to answer to the Dust Watch.
Okay, I don't like the sound of these
Now,
Dust
run
Watch
along
people.
And think before you cast aspersions next time. Lest you hurt my feelings.
Fine! If that's how it's gonna be.
I wouldn't if I were you.
And of course, Justinian is already here.
There's a time to fight and a time to withdraw. For you, that's now.
What?
Hey! What are you doing, Zekua? You better not be stirring up trouble.
Okay, seeing all these...
Wahute! You sack of Ronek shit! This ain't over! You hear me?
Seeing all these characters with these, like, vaguely American accents is very strange to me.
You want to tell me what that was about?
Nothing that need concern you, sir. Zekawa is simply struggling to come to terms with the low character of his friends. But for good measure, I'll have the men keep an eye on him.
Yes, you do that.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll go make my rounds.
I wasn't expecting to see your faces among the crowd. Talk is rife there's a new Dawn servant. Take it you found it then. The Golden City.
See, now in comparison,
Aye. the
Stinian's
contest
accent
is
sounds strange.
over, And as I needed to return home to Yasulani, I offered to show our friends some of Shak Tural. What brings you north?
Nothing in particular. Just seeing what there is to see. Gulul Jaja compensated me rather generously for our duel. I'll be able to enjoy a comfortable life on the road for the foreseeable future. But for now, I shall be moving on. Oh, by the way, I recommend you try the Sabatender. They may not look it. They're surprisingly delicious.
But we don't serve Sabotender here.
The Dust Watch has their work cut out for them. For as long as I can remember, all disputes, big or small, are settled by dueling. Shaloni rarely saw eye to eye, and for better or worse, it was the simplest way to settle differences, since most would sooner not risk their lives, though it encouraged parties to pursue peaceful resolutions in a roundabout fashion. The Dust Watch was likely established by supporters of Kona, preferring peace be enforced through the formal rule of law. Reasonable stance, all things considered. If things ever got out of hand, the Landsguard would be forced to step in. What freedom they have now would be lost under Zoral Shah's authority. Of which is to say that unless a lengthy stay in a jailhouse appeals to you, be mindful of how you handle your arms in town. Okay. If I get dragged somewhere, I'm going to go ahead and attune. These people can hold me in a jail cell anyway. I should like to think the stableman has arrived at the Ronique by now. I'll go on ahead to check. If you still want to have a look around, then be my guest. Come and find us when you've had your fill. Okay. Unruly wildlife's not the only source of recent distress, I'm afraid. Also been a rise in robberies targeting merchants. As a result, we've got a lengthy list of folks wanting to use our Renique. It's a pretty common trend. Which is why I have to ask that you stop at Shishenawetsi Springs. Maka and his fellows are doing what they can, but they reckon the bandits are operating as a gang. Rounding them all up's easier said than done. Pallet tenders. Not just for water in their stems mined, their fruits are also said to be both nutritious and delicious. Oh, is that what Aaronville was talking, or Estinian was talking about? Brimming with cerulean. Interesting. Wallachie, meanwhile, show great reference to ceruleum with its blue flames. No sooner did we dismount than the next passengers are already on their way. They really are short on Ronique. Shishanawetsi Springs, perhaps the busiest town here in Shaloni. People travel here from all over hoping to find their fortune. The change come to I swear his sentence structure is very strange to me today. Surprising enough, but this is no less impressive. They've achieved a great deal in the 3 years I've been away. That or I'm just stupid and can't read. The station is on the eastern side of town, but there should still be time before the next train departs. Yate is her name, and if she learned that I passed through without saying a word, she'd never let me hear the end of it. Set out from our village some 10 years ago, hoping to earn coin as she traveled about Tyrol, but I can assume she too came here seeking greater opportunities. Blue hair. Okay. Get this aetheryte. Looking for blue hair. Blue hair. And a grayish. Figure she's probably also going to have a... Oh. Yate, and who might you be? Okay. Such a darling little thing as a child. Suppose it all starts to get hazy after a while living as long as we do. She's known my mentor since they were children. I thought I'd see the day when you travel with company. You really have grown. I cannot say that. adopted a new name when I became a gleaner, one that adheres to Eastern Vieira conventions so as to avoid drawing attention. Given that this is a homecoming, it was only a matter of time before you found out. Nevertheless, I would appreciate it if you would continue using my chosen name. Fair enough. Veritable feast prepared with fresh game she'd hunted herself. Her skill at arms pales in comparison to her knowledge of nature. It's what earned her a place among Galul Jaja's traveling companions. The details emerge. No matter how many times he asked, the answer was always the same. You can come when you prove you're a true explorer. Thus did she task me with finding the Golden City. Despite my best efforts, all paths led nowhere. I assumed it was but a dreamer's fancy, a ploy to goad me into experiencing the wider world. But it was real, and we found it. Where do you think you're running off to, boy? You're no fighter. No doubt these are the infamous local bandits. Oh. If you so much as nick her skin, you won't live to regret it. Luke Lamott's nursemaid. Maybe this ain't such a good idea. No, it really isn't. First, we need to put this one in the dirt. Okay, here's the problem with that. No. Alrighty then. And it managed to get away, but I have an idea of where they're headed. Bracelet, it was a parting gift from Luke Lamont. Now you really done fucked up. With the right of succession ended and Wu Clamot crowned the next Dawn servant, she is ready to stand on her own. I told her as much, and of my plans to return to Yasulani, she gave me the bracelet that I might always remember our time together. Filled me with such joy, I wanted everyone to know, everyone to see this wonderful gift given to me by the vow of resolve, and now it's gone. I would have let them take every coin to my name, if only they had left me that bracelet. Well, time to go killing. Understand your methods can be brutal, but it would be wise to show some restraint lest you find yourself on the wrong side of the law. Perhaps I should come as well to be sure all proceeds as it should. I assure you that will not be necessary. At least you're safe, and I know you'll set things right. Grenville's composed demeanor belies his eagerness to help Namika. I doubt Namika would find joy in the return of said gift if lives were taken in the process. If it comes to violence, I ask that you stop short of killing them. The rest we can leave to the Dust Watch. Should I actually be arrogant for once? I mean, I could just do the Dust Watch a favor and, wipe them out. Certainly be well within my ability. This is actually kind of nice, though. Just kind of going to an area, wandering aimlessly, finding things to do, people to help, getting to just hang out with Aaronville for a little while. No immediately apparent world-ending calamities. Seems the bandits have claimed this place for themselves. Not exactly being subtle about it, are they? Because they're corrupt. I knew I had reason to not trust these people. They've made no attempt to conceal their presence. How can the Dustwatch not have noticed by now? Question for another time. First, we must find the bracelet. I don't see the bandit who had it. Perhaps they're in one of the buildings. Ramshackle as they are, it should prove a simple thing to eavesdrop on anyone inside. Okay, more stealth stuff. Well, kind of failed on that pretty much immediately. Fully shoveling sand, praying we'd strike it rich. Only an idiot would work the mines with easier money to be had. Not when we've got a boss who can keep the Dustwatch off our backs. Yeah, see, I knew it. Wynn's got a way of carrying secrets to the wrong ears. Who'd ever believe one of them sainted souls was running our crew? That drunk who bought your story about the gold-shitting alpaca. Damn it. Trying to not click on people. As you lean in to listen, a familiar voice rings out through the wall. Okay. Must have been the little redhead shit. Vulture most of all, you can tell him to eat shit. He's Guys are really foul-mouthed. How about we give you the chance to tell him yourself? We'll see how tough you are then. Just sneak around these fools. Somehow. I've brought back a prize you're gonna love. Have a look at this bracelet. But it was made by a famous artisan. Are we supposed to move something like this without attracting attention? Reckon we could find a sailor who won't ask questions, sell it for a song. Or I could go in there, whoop some ass, and be done with this whole thing in like 5 minutes. And their leader is a man of the Dustwatch. Isn't it obvious? That would explain why these bandits have been able to do as they please, and you say they gave the bracelet to him. Seems we have our work cut out for us. Did you hear anything else of note? Vulture. He's behind the recent rash of robberies. We also know who he has the bracelet. Obvious answer. If we confront him with his henchmen around, a violent outcome is all but guaranteed. Wild Dara. Interesting. Oh, neat. Palatender. Interesting. It won't be done barging into the front door. We'll have to lure him out. To do that, we will avail ourselves of Yehekaya? God. Dragon-like creatures. their breeding season, and the males will flock to the scent of a female and eat. With a few ingredients and a sample of their feces, I can create an attractant that resembles this scent when burned. Then, while they contend with our flying friends, we can sneak in and search for the bracelet. Yeah, that's right, Aaronville. Give me the shitty job. Dinosaurs. These must be the dragon things in question. No sign of dragon shite. Get out of here. I'm just pissing off all the wildlife today, aren't I? You pray to the 12 it doesn't actually burst. Okay. Fruit and aloe jelly. Crit, piety and crit, crit and spell, skill, speed and tenacity. Yeah, screw it. I'll take that. Fair number appear to be gathered inside. Now's our chance. I will keep watch. From here, the attractant I leave to you. Toss it into the bonfire near the middle of town. The dragon things will come soon after. Okay. Excuse me, but you are facing the other way. Oh, I'm sure that smells foul. It's burning dragon shite. Okay, so this is the guy that's in charge of this whole operation. I feel like that should have been pretty obvious. Now, that's going to be a little bit tricky because the dude's holding it. Well, I guess we've got no choice now. I didn't think anyone would have the balls to take on the vulture. Well, if the way they are coding Mr. Bunny Boy here, there ain't a pair of balls between us. I need to apologize. We were planning to save you. Eventually. don't even know who you are. You're secret admirers of mine or something? This man they call the Vulture, I've seen his face before. Was he not the officer you confronted in town? When he's not masquerading as a gang leader, he serves as deputy chief of the Dustwatch. Trying to get back something the Vulture stole. Let me help. It's the least I can do after you bailed me out back there. I have an idea where he's hid his cash. I reckon he's headed there now too. Not in Yaoi, they're called the Daybreakers, and it was me and my friends that founded the group. Oh, okay. But it wasn't a gang of cutthroats, not back then. We just wanted to protect people who couldn't protect themselves, kids being harassed by bullies, workers being exploited by the mining concerns, folks who needed help to even the odds. It was 3 years ago, and whenever we found someone scheming in the shadows, we settled matters the best way we knew how. Before we knew it, our small band of friends commanded a force to be reckoned with. And about a year ago, the Vulture and his thugs showed up. They got the better of us and took over the Daybreakers. Everyone was afraid of him, so they did his bidding without question. But when he showed them how they could make a fortune easily, that was when he really won them over. Now the Daybreakers is nothing but a bunch of bandits and cutthroats who prey on the people it was created to protect. When the day came, he showed up with the Dustwatch and had my friends arrested on charges of robbery. As if that wasn't enough, he set their bail at a price no one could ever hope to pay. With them locked away, there was no one left to help me, none of my old friends from the Daybreakers, and certainly not the Dustwatch. No sooner had I stepped out of town than the Vulture's minions caught me by surprise. They took me prisoner, and, well, you know the rest. Well, if he knows where this Vulture keeps his spoils, perhaps he can help us recover Namika's bracelet. Could lead the sheriff to it. I guess we can decide what to do after he gives us the pitch. Rude. This is where he hides his loot. I expect he'll show up soon. Storing stolen goods here seems risky, but I suppose it's an option for someone with his authority. Cerulean barrels. I doubt he'd trust a lackey with that business given the provenance of the piece. No, I'll wager he's not letting that bracelet out of his sight till he's got coin in hand. I wasn't sure what to make of you after Usatawi, but I'm glad to see you're more than an impulsive child. If we're going to catch him, we need to back him into a corner with hard evidence. That's my plan. First, we need to lure him away from here, over to the Usatawi. Would be ideal. For that, I need one of you to help me. So by time for the other to search the barrels for any stolen goods. Man, woman, and child of the wilds understands the importance of duels in the old laws. The deputy chief would never disgrace himself by refusing. Oh, I'm sure he would. This all seems a little too simplistic. Good. Why not? Tell the vulture I tried to rob you, but you managed to overpower me. Even if he suspects a trap, he won't be able to resist taking the bait. You'll want to buy your friend as much time as possible and make your way to Usatawi. Once you've got the vulture there, I'll take care of the rest. Okay. Luckily that Shatona's doing. We can give him more than a gentle poke. So desperate was he to see his friends free from prison, he turned to a life of crime. How awful. Okay. Not that this is an appropriate time for me to play tour guide, but if you insist. Shishanawatsy Springs is home to a thriving cerulean mining industry. The prospect of easy coin has attracted some undesirables, though. Okay. Like yourself. Ah, shit. Oh. Okay. Get out of here. There's gold in these fields. There's gold in these fields. Blue gold. Just be wary of beasts in these parts that may prefer to snack on cerulean, but for you, I reckon they'd make an exception. Yeah, that wouldn't end well. He's catching on. The hell are you? Sunbeard. Okay. Patience is wearing awfully thin. If he isn't at the next place we stop, I may be forced to do something you and I would both dearly regret. My man. bury you in the same grave.
Wahoote! Finally caught up to me, I see.
Ute. Okay.
Well, well, if it isn't our young outlaw. You've taken up stealing, I'm told. Can't say I'm surprised about that, but I am surprised that you'd offer yourself up to be arrested.
Sorry to disappoint, but you're the one who's going to answer for their crimes today.
Hey, that's my jewelry!
And my bag!
Ruh-roh.
So you found the stolen goods. That's fine work.
This barrel was at Shisenuetsi Springs, mixed in with others bound for Tuliyola. The Landsguard would have presumed it part of the regular ceruleum shipments and waved it through. And once it reached its destination, it would have been retrieved, and its contents sold for coin.
The audacity. Do we know who's behind this?
As fortune would have it, I spied the leader of
Yes,
the
officer,
operation
this
being
man
handed
right
one
there.
of the stolen items. A bracelet, which Vau Wuklamat had intended for her nursemaid, Namika.
It was from the Vow of Resolve?
As good as a confession.
You've seen it then?
No, no, never. And if I knew who had it, I would have arrested the scoundrel.
What's the meaning of this, Wahoote?
It's a setup, sir. I have the bracelet, yes, but I only 'cause I found it. I swear. They're the real
Likely
criminals.
story.
They concocted this scheme to frame me, so they could get me out of the picture.
If you feel your honor's at stake, there's always the old-fashioned way. The law which folks have used to settle their differences for generations.
You don't mean...
I do mean.
Wahoote, I challenge you to a duel. The winner is right, the loser is wrong. Doesn't get simpler than that.
Yeah, have at it.
Let your pistols do the talking!
Please. Do you honestly believe you can goad me into playing your game?
You refuse then? A baby alpaca's got more fight than you.
I like this kid.
All right, boy. But remember, you asked for this. Come on, Zakawa! Give him what for!
Shouldn't we stop him, Chief? Even if it's just rubber bullets, we're in the middle of town.
Be quiet.
He's not using rubber bullets.
Oh, you little shit!
I guess it doesn't matter.
Looks like you've gotten slow in your old age, Vulture.
You and I are going to have a long talk.
I apologize for dueling in the middle of town. If you want to lock me up, then lock me up. But please, let my friends go. They've done nothing wrong.
You drew your gun within town limits. But Wihute drew first. Far as I'm concerned, you acted in self-defense. You're free to go. As are your friends.
Ha! You're not such a bad guy after all!
Just a man of the wilds, like you. But to think that Wihute had taken control of the Daybreakers, it pains me that it happened right under my nose.
What are you gonna do about his crew? Some of them are still in Tonatenui.
Those who have broken the law will be taken into custody. But those who haven't will be given the chance to resume walking the straight and narrow. What about you, Zakawa? What do you intend to do now?
Why, what I've always done. Protect the weak and help the helpless. The old-fashioned way.
Here, this was Vawuk Lamott's gift for someone, wasn't it?
Yes, a person very dear to her.
I suppose this is where we go our separate ways. My thanks again for your help apprehending the Vulture.
Well, that was fun. It ended up being rather more complicated than expected, but all's well that ends well. Couldn't have brought him to justice without your help. I don't know how I'll ever repay you. Give you proper thanks after I find my friends. Yes. Why am I getting stuck in rings? This is more than just a gift. It is a part of me I could never hope to replace. Clement is blessed to have such devoted friends. I wouldn't put it quite that way. I prefer to think of us as more as long-standing acquaintances. Can say I'm surprised the deputy chief turned out to be the bandits' leader. I always knew something wasn't right about him. I'll have you know, I called it very quickly. If it wasn't for you believing in Zakawa, doing what you did, we'd still be locked up. No idea how satisfying it was to see that bastard Wihute put behind bars. Never gave up hope that Zakawa would find a way to get us out. He always was the best of the daybreakers. Glad he was able to convince you to get along with his plan. Fortunately, our group is smaller now and lacking in strength besides. Some outlaws might see us as an easy target. Even so, if anyone should give the Dust Watch the slip, the Daybreakers will be there. Train night and day so no one will get the better of us again, isn't that right? On the off chance it doesn't, we'd best make sure everyone can match or beat my speed. I owe you a great debt, and one of these days I'll be sure to repay it. On that, you have my word. Something about the tracks being damaged in the last quake. The tunnel was closed as well. Been quite a few tremors of late, and a rather large one struck not long before you two arrived. I can only hope no one was hurt.
I'm so sorry, but we're not sure when the train will be running again.
You've got to be joking. Of all the places to get stuck at on the way.
Well, I mean, if the tracks are damaged, the tracks are damaged.
Please don't tell me you've come to complain too.
We heard that the earthquake had caused disruptions and wanted to ask when operations would resume. But I see that it will be a while yet.
I'm afraid so. Too few hands for too much work. It's time-consuming enough to inspect the tracks after every quake, but this last one we got after the succession ceremony was massive. Made a mess of a whole bunch of railroad ties.
The succession ceremony? We would have been in Tuliolal at the time. If it was as violent as you say, we should have felt it as well.
I have to admit, it was a touch strange, having seen my fair share of tremors. If I had to describe it, it felt more like the rumbling from an explosion.
Is there anything I can do to help?
An explosion, you say?
Seriously? You're offering to help?
What about you, my friend? If you'd rather strike out on your own, I understand.
Though, if you were willing to lend us a hand too, we'd be truly tremendously grateful. Thank you! Thank you so much! I'm Shenza, by the way. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. If you would please step inside, I can introduce you to everyone.
Sorry for dragging you into this.
There they are. That's them, the 2 volunteers. Walika is our station master, and over there is our top driver, Nitoikwe. And this grizzled mug is Zapia, an engineer who joined around the same time as me.
Much obliged for the help. I'll make it worth your while, I promise.
These people all look incredibly familiar. It's like they're... Yeah.
Something the matter?
To be a fan of trolleys.
Trolleys? They're fine, I suppose, but they're no match for our ceruleum-powered engine.
She's absolutely glorious, let me tell you. If you'd like to bask in her beauty, well, you should visit the depot behind the platform.
Right then. What I'd like you two to do is help us procure timber. We'll be using it to fashion new railroad ties, so it needs to be the strongest stuff we can get. In these parts, that means the trees in the Piata-Yonan Plain. It is Hetsaro territory, though, so we need to get their permission first. Come on, no time to waste.
It's a nice little callback. Though no small number live in Shaloni, I must confess that I've never visited the home of the Hetsara. Quite taken with the sleek design of the head end myself. What? Missed something. sleek design of the head end. Okay. Certainly worse ways to describe a train, I suppose. Mewa Hetson? Mewa Hetson. Okay. This place is pretty green. Oh, that's your son. Oh. Yes. Your son. Oil and steel, tanned leather, and the faintest hint of blood-soaked soil of lands unknown. Gather you are not from these lands. Nature is boundless, as is our love for her lands and her children. The Hetso in particular have done much to guide our way of life. We're to hunt, to gather, to lay our heads. The Hetso teach us all these things and more. It is for that reason I believe that we are attuned to the shifting winds around us. Leader of souls. Many creatures revealed as Hetso among the Hetzaru. Here we look to the Ranique for guidance. You may have gleaned from our use of Aetherites. While we are committed to our traditions, that does not mean we reject all outside influences. It said there are certain things that give us pause. We do not often receive guests We do not often receive guests come such a long way, and my son is always so delighted to hear their tales. Now if you'll follow me. Okay, it must have just been like the lighting or the angle when they first introduced him. It was like half expecting him to say, you know, hey, this is my wife. Why? Stableman near Usatawi mentioned that. Do you know what caused this? Of our suspicions, since others were drawn to this land by ceruleum, Shaloni has undergone a transformation. It could have been a cerulean explosion. As strong and resilient as they may seem, Ranique are sensitive creatures. The roar of the train as it thunders through the plains may well cause them distress. Hard-headed and aloof. There is a grain of truth to the rumors. He is not nearly as bad as they make him out to be. Okay, that banging has got to stop soon. They've been working all fucking day. His journeys have changed him for the better. It's a bit awkward. I'll be charitable. On this particular occasion, the winds of change are not meant to be feared. We must open our hearts and minds that we might see Valcona for who he truly is. As for your timber, we have freshly cut logs near the lake. Please take all that you require. I promise we'll keep the Ranique foremost in our minds as we continue working on the railroad, and if need be, we'll seek Valcona's counsel. I'll gather all this stuff at some point later. Undisguised weariness. Okay. Let's see where there had to be a time limit there. Engineer compares to her, and it's always a treat to watch her work. Ooh, I need to grab that aetherite. I almost forgot to do that. Okay. Interesting. Oh, that's right. Isn't there like a wolf tail costume thing? Either way. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and cut here because I am unexpectedly quite tired right now. And I feel like I'm going to be losing my voice soon. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out of here and pick this up at a later date.